I'm Misty Velasky, and this is Ojai Valley News in depth. We are here on location at the Humane Society of Ventura County, right here in Ojai. And joining us is Kate Nelson, volunteer coordinator. Hi,
thanks for being here.
Society. Thanks for coming. So Kate, you recently received a bequest from a man named Harry Valentine. Who was he and why did he donate to the Humane Society?
Yes, we received a bequest from Harry Valentine, and it was a large donation that came to fix our spay and neuter clinic. We don't actually know a ton about Mr. Valentine right now. We've been in the process for a while now of figuring out who this gentleman was. But he was a big animal lover in the community, and when he passed away, he left the money to the shelter to fix our spay and neuter clinic to try and make that impact on the community that would last for a long time. But as far as details specifically about the man, we're still trying to figure all of that out. Just the money that Mr. Valentine donated was to go directly towards the spay and neuter clinic. It wasn't to go towards anything at the kennels, wasn't to go towards anything with the current status of the animals. It was for the spay and neuter clinic. He believed that that money would best suit the community in helping curb overpopulation. So we focused on the clinic, and how we're able to do that right now is we're doing a three-phase project. Phase one was building our new building so that we could move out of the existing building to expand the spay and neuter clinic. And as soon as we are out and into the new building, then we'll be moving into, that building will then begin to transform into the spay and neuter clinic. Now, the clinic we have right now has been open since 1986, so it's in much need of repair. So we're not only going to be expanding it, but we're also going to be making some much needed upgrades and repairs to it. Right now, we're right about 10 to 15 spays and neuters, depending on how many people are calling in. So max capacity is 15. We're going to be able to double that number. It's going to be huge. We're going to be able to expand not just the operating room, not just the actual size of the clinic, but how many animals we can house in there at any given time for the surgery. So we'll have a preparation room, we'll have a cat room where the cats can go so they're not having to recover next to the dogs. The dogs will have their own separate room, and we'll be able to have larger clinics and 2 operating rooms, so that we can prepare one dog, get them in for surgery, and then we can go to prepare another dog, bring them into a separate surgical room, and our doctor will be able to scrub and bounce between rooms. Our low-cost clinic is one of the best prices around as far as that's concerned, because you look at how much it costs to go to a regular, a vet's office, and the prices are very high. So there's a high demand to be able to get people's animals in at a lower cost. So we definitely have a large number of people that are trying to get in to get their animals spayed throughout the county. We do serve the whole county. We're very, very excited to have the visitor center. The visitor center is enabling us to have a conference room. It's enabling us to have a quiet place for adoption. The existing building right now, it can be a bit chaotic for people coming in, and it can be an emotional place for people if they're having to give up their animals or if they're bringing home a new family member. And we want that to really be a much more personal experience for the person. Make it so that we can spend some time with them, talk with them, go over everything in an environment that's comfortable. And this new visitor center allows us to do that. It also allows us to be able to have volunteer orientations in a place that people aren't exposed to 100-degree heat, and we're able to actually, or cold, rainy weather during the winter, we're able to actually get people inside, get more volunteers in so that we can really help out with the animals in a much more meaningful way. We're also going to be having a gift shop in the new visitor center where adopters are going to be able to purchase supplies for their animals that they're just adopting, or they might be able to bring home some items from Ruth Miller, our photographer that's been here for a while from Nature Studio. She does an amazing job, and we are going to have some of her merchandise in there as well as those much needed items for people bringing home their new pet. All the money that is raised from it does go right back into help the animals. So when people are purchasing items from the gift shop, they're really supporting the animals as well. As soon as we are moved into the new building, and as soon as we can vacate the premises, so to speak, they're going to begin work and construction on the new building. And it's going to include a lot of new things. We think of it in terms of the spay and neuter clinic, and that's, of course, the focus of the project and where our heart is. But we're also really able to make a difference in some other ways. We're adding in additional cat housing, for example. We're adding in a real office for our humane officers. As they're investigating all the abuse and neglect cases in the county, they have quite a workload.
Sure.
So being able to have a place to have their files, be able to work, and be able to go through everything, as opposed to having to do all of it in a field in a van, makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
We're also going to be able to have new grooming facilities. We're going to have a storage area that we can actually manage to keep everything in. Right now, if you walk around the grounds, you'll see a lot of things stored in a lot of different places.
Mm-hmm.
But with the new building, we're going to be able to have a real spot for it. And also rooms for people that are coming in that might require some time to grieve. We are going to have a special room for people that have to bring their pets in to be euthanized. We do offer that service to the public, and we want to make sure that it's in a comfortable environment where they can really feel some comfort.
Sure.
I mentioned it is a 3-phase project, and we've only really focused on the first 2, but that 3rd phase is to get down to the kennels and start changing those. We've been here at this building since 1982, and as you can imagine, things get a little outdated in over 30 years. So the kennels need to be fixed. We need new plumbing. We need to fix the current state of the kennels. You'll see that some of the chain link's starting to deteriorate.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see that the doors going in and out are starting to look a bit shabby. You look up at the insulation inside and it's crumbling. It's just not the environment that we want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be remodeling that, trying to make a difference for the animals, but we don't currently have the funding for that. So the funding that Mr. Valentine left was, again, to go towards the spay and neuter clinic, and that really covered the first 2 phases of the project. But now we're in the process of trying to raise funds to really be able to get down and work with those kennels. People can donate by coming into the shelter. We invite everybody to come on in and take a look at how things are, to look at the new building. When we open July 30th, we're going to be inviting the public in to see the new building, but not until then. And after that, at any time between now and then or thereafter, we want people to come in and see the kennels, visit the animals. Every little bit of interaction they have with people makes a big difference. But people can come in, check out the place, and make a donation that way if their heart feels so inclined. Or donations can be made online or through mailing in a check. July 30th from 10 to 4:30, we are going to be opening the Harry Valentine Visitor Center for the public. And we invite everybody to come on down and take a peek at it. And again, also to check out what's happening throughout the rest of the shelter. People will also be able to take an opportunity to look. We're going to be offering pavers for the public to purchase. So if people want to be in a part of this, if they are an animal lover that wants to be able to make a difference here at the shelter, if people would like to have their legacy left on a stone here at the shelter, or to do something in memory of someone or an animal, people are able to purchase pavers here at the shelter for anywhere between $100 and $500. And again, all of that money raised goes right back into